All right, hello everybody. Just found a article today that I was kind of interested in sharing real quick. Um, oh man, YouTube really likes to lag on these Hangout things, don't they? Okay. Anyway, streams have been a little bit weird lately on YouTube, so hopefully this works. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at this article here. Let me just make sure it's on the screen. Yes, it is. Okay. Transgender and Transager 52-year-old father lives as a 6-year-old girl. No, that's not a typo or anything. That's actually the article. And there's the lovely happy family right there. Forget about being transgender like Caitlyn Jenner or transracial like Rachel Dolezal. There's a new trans frontier, people who are trans age. Oh boy. Age is a social construct. In an interview with the gay news site, The Daily Extra, oh my god, that is the worst spelling ever, formerly Paul Walsh, details his struggles with being a male to female transgender person. The Daily Extra video, however, glosses over a tiny bit of important information about Walsh. He thinks he is actually a 6-year-old girl, not just a woman, but a 6-year-old girl stuck in the body of a 50-something man. At age 46, Walsh deserted his wife and his 7 children to live his true life. Now that's the part of this. I mean, all right, granted, I may not understand exactly the struggle of a transgender person or what goes through their mind or the things that they have to deal with. And don't get me wrong, I imagine it's a very hard life. But this is completely awful and irresponsible. I mean, this is just about the most selfish thing you can do. He abandoned 8 people in his life, completely deserted them so that he could go and live this delusion that not only is he a woman, which fine, if you want to be that, great, but he's also a 6-year-old girl, when it's very clear that that's not accurate. Now, there's a video interview, and it's posted in this article down below. I'm not going to watch it on stream, but I did watch it prior to this. And he claims, his wife says, stop being trans or leave. So clearly he chose to leave. But he also says, she told me to stop being trans, and, that's just not something I could do. It's like telling me not to be 6'3". So by that reasoning, if you can't stop being 6'3", if you can't just say, I'm not 6'3", I now identify as 5'7", why do you think you can go from being 50 or 46 or however old you are to a 6-year-old? It's the same idea. Time doesn't go backwards just because you want it to. Trust me, I know. There are days I forget my past, Walsh says. I can actually go a week without even thinking about what was before. Oh, great. I can just totally turn off all emotions because I'm finally free of the shackles of oppression of, my wife and my 7 children that I went ahead and had and brought into this world. But now, since I don't think I can do it anymore, I'm just going to go and I'm going to live life as a woman and as a 6-year-old girl at that. So to me, that's just terribly selfish. I mean, if you knew that this was your lifestyle and you could not avoid it, why would you go ahead? Why would you get married? Why would you have all these kids? Why would you bring all these kids in the world and then suddenly decide, well, I can't be a father anymore. Time to go be a 6-year-old girl. That's just so messed up. There's just no other words for it. I can't deny I was married. Well, why not? I can't deny I have children, even though I forget about them often, Walsh admits. But I've moved forward now, and I've gone back to being a child. I've moved forward, and I've gone back to being a child. Asshole. That's going backwards. Oh, God. I don't want to be an adult right now, and I just live my life like I couldn't when I was in school. I don't want to be an okay, but the fact remains, like, if you don't want to be an adult, fine. Don't take on adult responsibilities. Don't go off and have a bunch of children and then just suddenly decide, well, I can't do this anymore, so see you later, guys. Walsh is not speaking in an abstract sense. He actually wants to be a child. He explains, and this was all in the video, so it's quoting from the video. Well, I have a mummy and a daddy, an adopted mummy and daddy, who are totally comfortable with me being a little girl. And who are these psychotic enablers? And their children and their grandchildren are totally supportive. Why would you even let your children near some creep that is trying to be a child? In fact, her youngest granddaughter, when I was 8, a year ago, I was 8 and she was 7. And she said to me, I want you to be the little sister, so I'll be 9. I said, well, I don't mind going to 6, so I've been 6 ever since. Now, this is completely crazy. If you want to be taken seriously and you're like, well, I actually believe that I'm an 8-year-old, right? And let's just say, for the sake of the scenario, we're going to take you seriously and not treat you like a complete nut job. How is it, if this is your real identity, your true identity, how can you just suddenly decide, well, okay, I'll be 6 years old? Well, let me tell you how. Because it's fucking pretend. You don't really believe you're 6. You cannot. I mean, if you did, you wouldn't have been able to just say, oh, well, today I'm 8 years old. Well, oh, since little girl here asked me to play pretend, I guess I'll be 6. But now I'm really 6. Make up your mind. We have a great time. We color. We do kid stuff. It's called play therapy. No medication, no suicide thoughts, and I just get to play, Walsh says. For some people, however, playtime eventually ends. Now, it is important to note that in the video, they did state that this person actually does work plowing snow or something like that. So I guess they do hold a job, but now how does that work? I mean, what do they do when they fill out the job application? Oh, how age, 6 years old, date of birth, like 2009. Really? Because I don't think you're going to get the job, pal. This is just, it's the level of insanity that we're going to. Like, why would you glorify this? And that's exactly what this video does. And the best part about the video, I definitely recommend, well, I do recommend you watch it, even though it's kind of a nightmare. The like to dislike ratio is pretty funny as well. But the best part about this video, and by best I mean absolutely just disgusting, is the part where he talks about how he hasn't thought of he can go for a whole week without thinking of his past life or his family or his kids or anything. He laughs after saying that. He just cracks up laughing like it's nothing, like it's a fucking joke. And if you do watch the video, you also note, the very sad music in the opening where they try to frame this person as the victim. Meanwhile, let's just completely forget about the 8 people that were abandoned in favor of this delusional lifestyle. And I mean, the trans part, all right, fine. But being 6 years old or being 8 years old and then deciding you're 6 years old makes no fucking sense. Why would anybody ever buy into this? Why would anybody ever enable it? I mean, I understand that being an adult can suck massive amounts of dick at time, but that's just not reality. No matter how hard you want to go back, you just can't. And all the pretending in the world, all the people accepting this is not going to make it reality. It's just people feeding into insanity, and it really just needs to stop. Okay, well, that's it, everybody. Thank you, and good night.